It was a normal day. I had just finished work and was walking home, thinking about dinner and what show to binge that night. Out of nowhere, black SUVs screeched to a stop around me. Before I could react, men in dark vests with bold ICE letters rushed toward me. "Sir, we need to see your papers." My heart pounded. Papers? What papers? I was born in Texas. I fumbled for my wallet, showing them my driver's license. One of the officers barely glanced at it before shaking his head. "We have reason to believe you're here illegally. Hands behind your back." Before I could even protest, cold steel cuffs clicked around my wrists. The next thing I knew, I was being shoved into the back of a van. My mind raced. There had to be a mistake. This had to be some kind of misunderstanding. I tried to talk, to explain. "I'm a U.S. citizen. Check my records." But they ignored me. The van door slammed shut, and we sped off into the night. Hours later, I found myself inside a bleak, freezing detention center. The walls were gray, the floors hard, and the air thick with desperation. Dozens of men and women sat on metal benches, some whispering in Spanish, others simply staring into space. "You have the wrong guy," I told the officer at the processing desk. I was trying to stay calm, but my voice shook with panic. He barely looked up. Yeah, everyone says that." "Name?" I gave him my full name. He typed something into his computer, squinting at the screen. Then he frowned. There's a flag on your record. Says you might be undocumented." I felt my stomach drop. "What? That's impossible. I was born in Texas. My family has lived here for generations." He just shrugged. "Not my call. You'll have to wait until your case is reviewed." That was the beginning of the longest, most terrifying months of my life. I wasn't allowed to call my family for days. When I finally got in touch, my mom was crying on the phone, already working with a lawyer to get me out. "Don't worry, mijo. We have your birth certificate, everything. This will be cleared up soon." But it wasn't. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. My lawyer submitted proof of my citizenship multiple times, but every time ICE officials had a new excuse. "We're missing some paperwork. Your case is still under review. There's a backlog in processing." I started losing hope. The days blurred together in that freezing cell where time felt meaningless. The food was awful, gray slop and stale bread. The beds were thin metal frames that dug into your back. The worst part? No one told me anything. I met men who had been locked up for years, still waiting for their cases to be reviewed. Some didn't even speak English. They had no idea what was happening to them. I saw fathers separated from their kids, mothers crying themselves to sleep. I had always thought things like this happened to other people, but now I was one of them. Then one day, after 4 months of hell, a guard suddenly called my name. "You're getting released." Just like that. No explanation. No apology. I was given my old clothes and walked out into the sunlight, blinking like I hadn't seen daylight in years. My lawyer was waiting outside. She looked both relieved and furious. They finally admitted it was a processing error, just like that. 4 months gone, and all they say is oops. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but I was exhausted. Number I lost 4 months of my life for nothing, no charges, no trial, just an error, and I wasn't alone. Thousands of U.S. citizens have been wrongly detained by ICE, their lives torn apart over simple mistakes or laziness in the system. If this could happen to me, a citizen with proof of my birthright, what chance did others have? The ones without lawyers? The ones who didn't speak English? This system is broken, and people need to know.